How's it going, guys? I'm here to review Halloween 1978, a true classic.
Halloween night. A small American town. 15 years ago.
This movie is directed by John Carpenter. He made The Thing, They Live, Prince of Darkness, The Fog, Christine, you name it. This movie is the one that pretty much redefined the horror genre, the slasher genre, redefined the actual holiday Halloween and its marketing and the costumes. This and especially the music, the score, the synth wave, everything. Like the theme for this movie is so iconic. Like this movie pretty much changed pop culture. This movie franchise consists of at least 12 films, 8 original movies, 2 remakes, and now we have 2 requels, reboots slash sequels to the original one. And I am gonna see Halloween Kills when it comes out in theaters. So the plot for this movie revolves around a 6-year-old kid named Michael Myers. He decided to kill his older sister on a Halloween night, and then that causes him to go to the Smiths Groves Hospital, where he's being treated, mentally treated, and all this stuff. But of course, his doctor, Dr. Sam Loomis, is played by Donald Pleasence, believes that he is too dangerous to be um, he's too dangerous to be out in the world, so he needs to be locked up because he sees pure evil in his eyes, pretty much. Of course, years later, Michael eventually escapes and he goes back to the town Haddonfield where the murder took place, his first murder, in his house. So, yeah, Haddonfield, Illinois. That's the location of this movie where this story takes place, and he goes back there pretty much to finish what he started. And he sees a bunch of new teenage victims, a lot of new victims to kill. He grabs himself a mask and a butcher knife and all that good stuff. The main final girl or heroine in this movie is Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis. Michael's pretty much killing all of her friends one by one and is going after her. Why, we don't know yet until the sequels, but yes, throughout this whole movie, he's basically chasing after her, and it's up to Dr. Loomis to save the day and stop down Michael once and for all. So this is the plot for Halloween 1978 in a nutshell.
Michael? Halloween.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
So what did I think of this movie? This movie is iconic. It's a true classic. It's one of the best slasher movies of all time. One of the best horror movies of all time in ever. And this movie is so good. Like the score in this movie is composed very great. It's composed by John Carpenter himself, who also directed this movie. So not only directed this movie, but he made the theme for this movie, which is awesome. And it's just, and then Michael Myers is pretty much one of the best horror slashers, one of the best horror characters, horror villains, horror antagonists of all time. Something about that simple white mask just makes it creepy and scary, especially when he's lurking in the dark. So Michael Myers is the embodiment of just, they call him the Shape, or just evil, death, the Grim Reaper type. Yes, he is that. And yeah, like the characters in this movie is so iconic. Like not just Michael Myers, but like I said, Dr. Loomis, played by Donald Pleasence, Jamie Lee Curtis is Laurie Strode. All these characters work well in this movie. The interaction, the dynamic, the dialogue, everything just works in this movie. The score is good. The kills is not even gory in this movie, but it still leaves it up to your imagination. It doesn't show you too much, which is really cool. So this movie, if anything, it's more scary than gory. It's more of the thrills, of the tension, of the build-up, the suspense, which is really good.
Exploring uncharted territory.
Totally charted.
Just talk.
Sure. The only reason she babysits is to have
Halloween.
So when I watched this for the first time, this movie was actually pretty creepy. You can tell like it was taking its time to build up to the moment, and when it does, when the horror happens, you're like, whoa. This movie has a simple plot, but yet it works so good. Like, it works effectively. And yeah, this is honestly, truly one of the iconic best horror movies of all time. There's really nothing bad I can say about this movie. It's just so damn good.
Okay, Linda.
Come on out.
So honestly, this is the best one in the franchise in my opinion. This is the scariest one in the franchise, and this is like, and Michael Myers' mask, like the mask is like the most iconic part of the character, obviously. So this, in this movie, I think he has the best version of the mask in my opinion. Like, hands down, the original mask will always kick its ass. If I have to give this movie out of 10, I would give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. It's one of the best horror movies of all time, a true classic. So yeah, that was my quick review of Halloween 1978. Please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. There's going to be a lot more sequels and remakes, that's for sure.
Holy cats.